the main topic that I work on that relates to increasing resilience of families and reducing risk is around asset building. And asset building is a term that can mean a variety of different things. In this context, we're thinking about financial asset building, or how families can build wealth that will help improve their response when they face a crisis. So, for example, if you think about if a family faces a period of unemployment, or they have a health emergency, if they have savings in the bank, they are much more able to respond, to be able to draw on those savings and use them to cover the income that they wouldn't have because of that unemployment or that health event. The kinds of risks that families have to face on a day-to-day basis, they come in all shapes and sizes. There's the kinds of things like unemployment, which families have much less control over. They're more macroeconomic and relate to the broader environment of how the economy is doing in general. Then we have sort of all the way down to health events. Again, these are something that families have some control over, but not a great deal. We know that health events, poor health can result as much from your personal habits as well as being related very much to the neighborhood that you live in, or the socioeconomic group that you're a part of. And so these are risks that families have a hard time controlling. So there's been over now, I guess, about 20 years of programmatic work that people have been doing in the asset building field to try to help families build up savings and get themselves into a financially resilient position. And some of the projects that I've been working on have been looking at ways that families can build that financial resiliency when they're at the very bottom of the socioeconomic scale. So one project in particular that's a project here at APT is the Compass Working Capital project. Compass Working Capital is a non-profit that is working with families who are receiving housing assistance of some kind. And Compass works with those families to coach them to help them build up savings. Now those savings are happening in a very specific way. The housing assistance authorities that Compass works with, instead, in an ordinary situation, those housing assistance authorities would be, as the family earns more money, the housing assistance authority would ask them to pay more rent. Now, in this particular program that Compass is working with, called the Family Self-Sufficiency Program, those families are instead seeing that increase in rent going into a savings account. So they are paying more as they get more income, but that instead of that money going to the housing authority, that money goes into a dedicated savings account for the families. And they are able to then begin building savings, which as they begin to emerge from housing assistance, puts them in a much more financially resilient position. Here at APT, we're doing a broad scale evaluation of the programming to attempt to see how effective is this program in helping families build that longer term financial resiliency and savings.